communication is for life, not just for English class. This comes from me as a teacher and as an academic manager in a school that is pushing towards 21st century skills being the core of what we are doing. So, you know, we're not teaching English without any purpose, like English for no particular purpose, as sometimes it gets called. We're teaching as a communication skill, as a communication tool. And then as my experience as an accidental manager and, no Harvard Business School training and all of that, the growing realization that communication is even more important as you try to do other jobs. You know that the teacher in the classroom has to have good communication skills as the teacher, but if you step out of the classroom and you try to do things in the organisation, it becomes even more important. The wider the kind of group that you're trying to communicate to. So it's something that we teach, or we need to teach, but it's also something we need to learn hugely. I think it's really such an important kind of thing for success. So here's my initial kind of thought provoker, put it up there.
Okay.
Yeah, which is I got into a discussion about when it's okay not to have an opening on your communication, on your email, or when it's not enough just to say hi. Now, me personally, I hate this one. I hope this finds you well. That's just a bit of a bugbear. But everybody has their own preferences. And what I had put it up here when I changed it, there was, it's not spoken and written. I realise it's not that. It's genre of in-person communication, email communication, voice note, which I also hate, but is, I realise, increasingly popular, and just a short message, whatever way you do it. That there's these different genres that go beyond spoken and written and what's appropriate. So I want to ask you just to have a conflab with the persons nearest to you about what's your preferred opening for different, and do you have a different one for different genres? Can be social or professional context. So take 2 minutes just to confer on that and see what your near partner thinks.
It depends on where you are in the phrase. This is just your
if you're a student, yes, I mean, you're going to teach beyond us.
I don't want to run out of time. And I think there's at least a 1.5 hour class in this. If not more, in terms of what's in their appropriate register and functional language and all that kind of thing, all that good stuff that's kind of summed up there. But in the school context, as a teacher, manager, as a person working in English language teaching, what's your go-to opening? Can I get a few suggestions? Is it here or is it something else? With students, with colleagues, with external service providers?
I go for hi and then straight to the point.
Straight to the
I
point.
don't ask a question. Because it's never replied to. Anyway, it's never. How are you?
Yeah.
That's
So I go for hi.
Yes, I'm with you on that. I'm with you, absolutely. Anybody feel something more is needed?
We were saying hi all, hi guys.
Hi all, hi guys. Yeah.
Hi guys.
I got told off once for using hi there. With on that hi there, as it was, too impersonal or too kind of, I don't know why it's worse than hi, but hi there it seems too impersonal. And yeah, have a person who I work very closely, it's kind of go, you have to go, hope you had a great something. You have to say, that he feels the hi and straight in is unless it's a follow-up communication, unless it's a second or a third round, is not enough, and so he says, you're so rude. Compulsory question, hope you had a great blank. Bank holiday, weekend, day, morning, whatever you like. So there is kind of different standards for different people. So there's a lot in that, and it's all about kind of what's your preference. But if you want to go on to the next slide there for me, you have to think about, it's like, well, that's what I like, so therefore that's what's important. And this is what I feel about hope this email finds you well. Like, I don't like that, so I don't want to use it. But successful communication, and if you look at the CEFR, it tells us all these good things about a proficient language user, but none of that is really about successful communication. You're using the language, whether anybody on the other side of that interaction is not entirely clear, and your effect on them. So communication is about your ability to influence other people with your words, or body language sometimes and other things. So here's a set of descriptors that we have kind of come up with in Future Learning for describing what is a successful communication. And if you're looking there for overlap, it's kind of hard to find any overlap, really. So a successful communicator effectively exchanges information and ideas through verbal, non-verbal, visual and written means with others. And sometimes you have these students who are really bad language users, but very successful communicators. And it always amazes me that it's a special talent, especially if your language is minimal. But there are such people. And I remember a student who, he'd come in and there'd be an interaction and you kind of feel like you communicated with him, but he kind of go, God, what language was used there? Not much. And he just had that particular talent. Alters communication style for different situations, people and mediums. Communication is not about you. You want to be authentic and you don't want to kind of fake it too much, but the successful communication in a work meeting is about that kind of thing, and saying that we feel that it's important is part of teaching people to manage up, as Ben butted, or be successful communicators, as I've kind of presented here. It is the secret of success in life. It really is. In your relationship, your therapist will tell you this kind of thing, but it presented in different language, and it's such a huge skill. And so when we move away from teaching English and people to use English or be English users, to realise we're teaching communication, the impact of that is so much more powerful. And then for us to be expert communicators, that is the way to be successful in your life and in your organisation once you kind of get the hang of that. If people, if you feel people don't understand, appreciate you. So this is more for, again, linking to what Ben was saying. If you feel people don't understand, appreciate you, you have to ask yourself. You know, it's not about them, because they're them. You know, what about you? Did you ask them? Did you tell them? Did you listen to what they were telling you? And if you're not doing those things, then you're going to be misunderstood and underappreciated. Because it's a communication challenge. It's like if I just sit here and I assume that my manager or other person or fellow student or whoever will notice my, you know, my unique brilliance. But if you're not communicating that in any kind of effective way, how can that happen? You know, so communication, it's a two-way thing, but it's on you to take the initiative if you want something out of that. The other thing that I added to this afterwards, as I was thinking, was think about the outcome. Think about the outcome and in the communication, and focus on that. Because if you're going, I have to say this, I have to tell them that, and they have to know the other. Again, the relationship therapist will tell you the same. You know, what's the outcome? Do you want a solution, or do you just want an argument? You know, that you have to think about what the outcome you want here. My classic on this is attendance meetings with students, right? You've got to focus on the outcome. What's the outcome? Come to class, right? That's the outcome. And so you go into that attendance meeting and you get all of this communicative distraction thrown at you. It's like, I have the family crisis, the bus never comes on time, my employer is so mean to me, I don't have anywhere quiet in my house so I can do things. And yes, listen, understand, all those things. And so, okay, I appreciate you have all those problems, but are you going to be able to come to class tomorrow? Because that's what the purpose of the meeting is, and that's why we're here. And if you can't fix, I can't fix those problems, but I can maybe fix this problem so it doesn't become a bigger thing. So it's relevant there, but it's relevant in so many other kind of interactions. So that was my thoughts on that. Hope it was insightful. Any questions? Yeah?
I was going to say, my daughter taught me a great one on communication. When she texts me, first word she uses, wait.